How are you, first secondary? Unit 9, a good education. Okay, the theme of the unit is talking about how to receive your education even staying at home, and giving us an example of a woman who struggled to have also a good education, who was called Jane Eyre. Okay, some of new words like the word boarding school, a school where students live and study. Okay, other word like governess, a woman who lives with a family and teaches their children at home. One more, orphan, a child whose parents are dead. Okay, I just mentioned some new words, okay, because it's your task to read the words and memorize them, know their derivatives, and know how to use them in different sentences while you are answering choose part. But now, my target, as you know, the grammar part. Our grammar part will talk about past simple and past perfect. Let's check it. Past simple tense. Of course, it's not a new grammar lesson, but let me first revise quickly when can we use the past simple and how we form the past simple. Okay, if we are going through tense, my usual style is using the timeline. Okay, here is the timeline. This point refers to the present. Of course, what happens next is for the future before it is the past. If we are talking about past simple, it happens here in this part, okay, in the past part. Okay, so the form V2, which means the second shape of the verb, okay, whatever it was, regular or irregular. Other form is the passive form, which is was or were plus the past participle, and the past participle means the V3, the third shape of the verb. Okay. When can we use the past simple? We use the past simple when something happened in the past in a definite time, or we want to tell a story to someone. So, past simple, as you see, second shape of the verb. Okay, the passive form was a word plus past participle. If you want to make the negative, use the word didn't. Okay. One more thing, we have some time expressions to refer to the past simple, like the word yesterday, last, and after last put your time, or the word ago at the end of the sentence, or mention any time but in the past, like 2019, 2018, like this. I'm going to move to past perfect. Past perfect tense. Okay? Of course, it is past, so it is still happening in this part, the past part. Okay? But where can I put my arrow here? Okay, I put it here, no problem. Just to show that it happened in the past. But I kept the one for the past simple here, still from the previous word. Here the past perfect. The first one action happened also in the past, but before added action in the past. This is past perfect. Okay? So we call this one the first action, and we call this one the second action. Now let's move to the form. The form of past perfect is had plus past participle. So if you want to use a verb like eat, okay, in a sentence, it should be had eaten, okay, drink, had drunk, and so on. I made a kind of relation here when I mentioned that the past perfect happened before the past simple. So I told you that is the first action, and here this is the second action. Okay, so the problem here, how can we combine the past simple with the past perfect in one sentence? So we are going to have some conjunctions or connectors. Now I'm going to write the conjunctions with time sequences. Here we have the normal conjunctions. After, as soon as, before, by the time, until, till, because. Okay? Put your eyes here, you will find that I mentioned by the word one, the past perfect, to the past simple. So when I write here, after plus one, it means I'm going to use the past perfect after the linker after. And then the second action, which represents the past simple. Before, by the time, past simple, past perfect, until it comes at the middle of the sentence. After it, we use the first action, which is past perfect. Before it's the second action, which is past simple, but be sure that it is negative to give the right meaning. Because also is considered in this part after it past perfect and then before it past simple. I have here an example. I ate, I went out. If you want to put after here, after I had eaten, I went out. If you want to put before I went out, I had eaten. So you have to put the order of the actions. Let me write this and show you one thing which is very important. After I had eaten, I went out, the second part of the sentence, and here I'm showing you that after the word after, we can use the gerund directly if we cannot find a complete sentence. And they are making this trick in the choose exercise just to check if you are going to read correctly the sentence or not, because it is doing like this, after and then space, had eaten or eaten. So you will not find the word I. There is no I anymore. So you are going to use the gerund. It happens with before and but as soon as when you will not find a subject, use the gerund directly. I'm going to show you other connectors which appear maybe unusual to you. Okay? As you see here, we have a sort of compound conjunctions. Okay? They are coming with past simple, past perfect, and so on. As you see, I have no sooner eaten than I went out. So I have the word here, no sooner, with than. This part for the first action, this part for the second action. Hardly, scarcely, and when. So I had hardly eaten when I went out. Be sure that you use the both words, okay, together. I have also here, it was only when I had eaten that I went out. It wasn't until I had eaten that I went out. Okay? One more thing here. As you see, I put here some numbers, 1, 2, and 3. I had no sooner. If we are going to use no sooner at the beginning of the sentence, like this, no sooner, try that you are moving back 3, 2, 1. So no sooner had I eaten than I went out. As you see, 3, 2, 1. Like a form of question. Okay, this is also one thing that I want you to be sure of being correct in the exam. The last thing, we still have here our example. I ate, I went out. This is the first action, and this one the second action. You will notice here that I want you to just put the right sequence of the actions, but be sure that you are reading carefully. I have here the word before that, and I have just told you that before, okay, as a conjunction we use the second action after it. But here with the word that, it gives the meaning of after. So I'm going to use the first action here. I went out. Before that, I had eaten. The other one, after that. I told you that after, in the last word, in the last explanation, after, and then the first action was the past perfect. But here with the word that, it plays the role of before. So the right sequence will be like this. I had eaten. After that, I went out. It was the past simple and past perfect in brief. Just memorize well the conjunctions and their rules, and I'm trying to attach a good file, okay, includes all the conjunctions and their rules, okay. Finally, I wish you figured it out and had a full idea about past simple and past perfect. I'm trying my best to attach the PDF file which contains all the connectors. See you next video.